Welcome to this new video, where we delve into the profound question of how the reign of sin will find its conclusion. Join us as we anticipate crucial insights that will serve as guiding beacons, leading us toward a world free from malice. Stay tuned for a journey into understanding the pathway to a brighter, more harmonious future. In Zechariah chapter 13, it is written, "In that day, too, declares the God of hosts, I will erase the very names of the idols from the land. They shall not be uttered any more. And I will also make the prophets and the unclean spirit vanish from the land." Rashi explains that by unclean spirit, the Yetzer Hara, the evil tendency, inclination, is meant. The evil inclination is the voice in us that comes up with excuses in situations where we get to choose, with as result making the wrong decision. Knowledge about God, worshiping and respecting God will give us a deep awareness of what His will is. This will make it easier to silence the little voice, and God Himself will help us to achieve that. This doesn't mean that man no longer has the freedom to choose. However, sinning and wickedness is so illogical to do that it is avoided. Just as we know today that we have the choice to put our hands in the fire, we will not choose to do so because we know the logical consequence of pain. The Yetzer Hara disappears in the time of the Messiah. But how do we deal with this tendency today? Because how often do we experience before going to bed at night, while rethinking the day, that we have made wrong decisions? Knowing and wanting to worship God, the first and the second commandment of the Noahides law, will make a person want to delve into his will. He expresses his will for Noahides in the 7 Noahide commandments, the first and second of which we have already mentioned, studying, learning, and passing on the remaining 5 commandments to our society is essential for a healthy relationship with God, with our fellow man, and with creation as a whole. These remaining 5 are the prohibition of murder and injury, so respect life, the prohibition of forbidden relation, so respect for marriage, the prohibition of theft, so respect for the prohibition of others, the prohibition of eating meat that was separated from a living animal, respect for animals and the world, and establish of laws and courts. If we motivate ourselves to make an effort to get closer to God in this way, God shall establish a much higher reciprocity, and He shall give this person a greater and higher level of spiritual inspiration for divine service than one could have achieved on its own. If a person receives this extra inspiration from God, and it immediately is used to work on himself, and he internalizes this, he will achieve a permanent progression in his spiritual life. So we see that if we do our part by making an effort, carrying out His will, He will help us to achieve our goal. A person must actively exchange his erroneous thoughts for good thoughts. After that, you will start to notice that you start to grow mentally and spiritually. That which applies to your thoughts also applies to your actions. We should not expect that we will never make wrong decisions. Instead, we must make sure that we spend our effort and time making the right decisions and repent appropriately when we have committed a sin. If you want to change the world, start with yourself. Show your improvements to your environment, and you motivate and inspire others to get started with this process as well. In short, Swapping wrong thoughts and actions for choices aligned with God moves us forward spiritually. Transforming the world starts with changing ourselves, motivating others to join the path toward a better way of living. Join us in our next YouTube video as we delve into the transformative power of awareness and knowledge of God, ushering in an era of peace and harmony worldwide.